Okay. Thank you for letting me come in and talk to you.
problem.
And I'm really looking forward to coming in and seeing your lesson tomorrow. And so I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions about what it is I'll be seeing.
Okay.
At the end of your lesson, what do you want students to be able to do?
We have started our unit on addition, and today we're going to be focusing on the commutative property that addition problems can be added in any order. So my goal is that they know that no matter the order, that it's still the same outcome. And we will be talking about the word commutative because that's something in Common Core that they will need to know. But on this particular day, it's not my goal by the end of the lesson that they can say that back. But we will be talking about that.
And so how does this fit into their sequence of learning? Like, what have they been doing up to this point, and how will it help them from now on?
Okay, this is week 2 of our addition unit, and we will be doing addition mainly through October. The main core, the bulk of it, of course, all year long we'll be going back to it. So this is week 2 of about 4 in a unit.
And then you were talking about, like, you're trying to just kind of introducing the commutative property and how that will be a definition or a term that you will eventually get to.
Yes.
But for this particular lesson, how will you assess that they're beginning to understand and learn?
Towards the end of the lesson, after we're together as a whole group, they will do some guided practice, and I'll be walking around with them, just kind of observing and working with them, but also taking that paper and just kind of observing and seeing who is able to do. That's more that they can do, for example, 3 plus 2, and then also 2 plus 3, that they know both of that is 5. As far as actual word commutative, I probably won't be assessing that at this point, just introducing.
So for your guided practice, is that going to be more of a worksheet or
Yes.
more of a game?
Yep, a worksheet.
And what other instructional materials besides the worksheet are you going to use to maybe do during your mini lesson and things like that?
Dominoes are the main thing. That's what I'll do for my mini lesson, and then we'll also do a small practice together on the carpet with the dominoes turning over, that it's the same either way.
How will you respond if students aren't getting what you're trying to explain to them, or if they're like, oh, this is a piece of cake, I got this?
After we do our mini lesson and probably about 5 minutes of just practice together, when we go into those their independent practice at their desk, I have planned, I can pull a small group aside and often need to do that, at least to get them started and check in regularly with them.
And then for those that are just superstars, how are you going to challenge them?
For this, we do have some extra work, math papers that are ready for them that they can work on.
And how will you engage them in the lesson? Like, what will you be doing? What will they be doing during the mini lesson? And then you talked a little bit about how it'll be mini lesson, and then they'll go into some kind of guided practice.
When we do the mini lesson, a lot of times that's where I do a lot of the whole brain teaching, where we do the mirrors, where they're repeating what I'm saying. A lot of times we use hand motions that go with certain vocabulary. Also, after I do my mini lesson, we usually break out and sit in a circle around the carpet so we can all look at each other. We'll also be using the dominoes for manipulatives. Keep them going.
Briefly describe your class to me. Like, are there any students with special needs? And how will you differentiate your instruction to help them?
Right now, mainly focusing is our big issue, and so just a lot of that, constantly keeping things going, choosing who sits closer to me, and just kind of deciding who should not be sitting by certain friends. Let me think what else. One thing that's kind of a challenge is during that time several kids are getting pulled in and out with my classroom aid, with reading recovery, things like that. So kind of knowing ahead of time is helpful of who's getting pulled out, which sometimes just things happen, especially tomorrow's an early out day.
Right.
So that could change things as well, but just being aware of that as well.
Now, is there anything that you would specifically like me to observe? Maybe the questions you're asking, or the pattern in which you walk around the room when they're working independently? What would you like me to kind of focus on?
I think in particular, like when we're doing our mini lesson, how engaged they are and how quickly they're following directions. We've been doing better, especially with the whole brain teaching and things I've been trying this year, but just kind of in general, especially during the mini lesson, how well they're on task.
Okay, well, I'm really looking forward to coming in, and thank you for sitting down with me today.
Thank you.